thank you. And someone said root. Good. So you notice the square root, right? And how do we get rid of the square root? You guys remember what we used to do? What do we do with the square root? That too, but we isolate it first. So we're going to do that, but first we're going to isolate the square root. And then we're going to square both sides of the equation. So give me a minute. Let's do that. We're going to move the, So let me do the subtract 5 and we're adding 5. There we go. So when I do that, I get negative x plus 1 and it's equal to 5 minus x. Over x plus 5, right? Why is it so close? Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply by a -1. I don't want to have this minus here. So let me multiply by -1. So let's go back. First, what we noticed here was the square root. That we have a square root in the equation. How do we get rid of the square root? We isolate the square root. That's what we did. And then we're going to square both sides of the equation. We'll get there. Hold on. Now we're just going to change that sign. We don't want that negative there. So it's going to be a square root of x plus 1 equal to what? This is going to be positive now, and this is going to be negative. Now we could square both sides. So what do I have on this side? I have an x plus 1. And on this one, is what? X squared minus 10x plus 25. How? Let me just do it here. Let's do that. I just want to do it here the way you guys have it. So what do I? Yeah, that's fine. You were close. X minus 5 times x minus 5. Right? So let's do it. X squared negative 5x negative 5x plus 25. So I have x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay? You guys remember this, huh? Now, let me make, I'm going to subtract the x on both sides and the 1 needs to be equal to 0 in order for me to do the quadratic formula. You know what? We can either use the quadratic formula. Can we find two numbers? Or no? Isn't it 8 and 4? No.
Miss, you move the paper?
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry. Can we find two numbers? No. 8 and 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Yes. How about if we do 8? Negative is going to be positive. And if we add them, it will be this one. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But, okay, let's do it. We don't need to do the quadratic formula. So then we know that this part is going to be what? Equal to, so we do x minus 8 equal to 0 or x minus 3 equal to 0. So this is going to be x equals to 8 or x equals to 3. Could we also see what it looks like? Yes, that's what I was thinking in doing it. That will be the next step, yeah. I actually have it like that in my notes. But now that I'm doing it, I realize, but did I do it that way? I don't really need to, but I'll do it. Now, let's try it and let's check these two answers that we just got, okay? So we're going to check, when x is equal to 8 and the formula is x minus, let's do that. So this is going to be 8. This is going to be 8 plus 1. So this is going to be 9 minus 3. Square root of 9 is 3 minus 3. So 8 minus 3 will be 5. And 5 minus 3 is what? Hold on, what am I doing? 9. Hey, this is a 5. You guys didn't say anything. And 5 minus 5 is 0. Don't let me change the numbers, okay? So this is true. This one is working. It works so far. Now let's do the other one. The other one is when x is equal to 3. Did you guys do this one? Sorry. Okay. Now let's do this x. What I'm doing is replacing the x, substituting the x for 3 into the original equation. That's what I'm doing. So 3 plus 4, my goodness, plus 1 minus 5 equal to 0. 3 plus 1 is 4. Square root of 3 is 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. And 1 minus 5 is -4. And -4 is not equal to 3. So my answer is going to be x equal to 8. All right? So we're going to go back. This is a type of a quadratic, but it doesn't. It's not like they're not in the quadratic form. And what we did here was the difference here is that it has a square root. So first we need to get rid of the square root, and we did it. We isolate first the square root, and then we square both sides. We did that, and we came up with this. Now, I decided to do it, solve it by this method, which is the sum and product method. But we could do it using the quadratic formula, and we're going to do it. That's what I have it in my notes. I just realized that we could do it this way. So we said x minus x equal to 8 and x equal to 3. And we checked both numbers, and we realized that it worked only with the x equal to 8. So let me do the other way. Let me write down the equation again. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 24, right? And right, so we know that a is equal to 1, b is equal to -11, and c is equal to 24. And let me write down the quadratic formula. There we go. So let's do it, guys. So we have a -11 plus a minus -11 squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So we have 11 squared is 121, and 4 times 24 is 96. 121 minus 96 is 25. No, because it's a square, the 11. It's negative 11 squared. And here is negative 4 times 24, negative 96. You see that? Now, what do I have? I have an 11 plus a minus 5 divided by 2. So 1x is going to be 11 plus 5 divided by 2. And the other one is going to be 11 minus 5 divided by 2. This is 16 divided by 2 is 8. And this is going to be 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we did get exactly the same answer. It's good to know that. Yep. Now, so solving equations using quadratic methods, one of the methods is the first one that we just did, which was this one. Right here is the product at the zero factor, right? The zero factor property that we did the sum and the total, sum of the product, and we factor it this way, this quadratic equation. That's what we did there. Now, another way that we could do the three methods that we have. The second one is when we square root, the square root property. Let me write them down. So going back to the title that we had, so we have solving equations using quadratic methods. Okay? So the first one is if you can factor the polynomial, like we just did it, you do so and then apply. Okay. Second, if the equation is or could be Why is there only one answer when factoring, but two when using the quadratic? I know with quadratic you get two answers, but shouldn't you still get the same amount of answers? Why is we factored it here and we got two answers, but just one worked. And when we use the quadratic formula, we will have to check two, and we were gonna get to this saying that 8 equals x equals to 8 will be the answer. So both methods, you're gonna have to check. If you do it this way, by factoring, we checked. What I didn't do was check these two numbers already because I've checked them already here. But you do get exactly the same two answers. Good question, thank you. The equation is or could be in the form so what do we use? We use the square root property. Okay. And the last one, this one is if you cannot factor the polynomial. So then, sorry, use there? And that's what we did in ours. Because we were able to factor the polynomial. But if we cannot factor it, we use the quadratic formula. Let me know when you're done writing that down, okay? You guys need more time to write that down? All right, thank you. Now, for example, if I have Go ahead and write that down. So that one does look like this one, right? Like I need to do the what? The square root property. So let me apply the square root property on both sides. Okay. Now, this is going to be x minus a square root of 3 plus and minus. How do we divide this one? We could divide it and let's break it down. And square root of 4 times the square root of 3. So this is going to be equal to 2 the square root of 3. Now, let's isolate the x. So we're going to be adding the square root of 3. So it's going to be x equal to what? Square root of 3 plus minus 2 times the square root of 3. And one answer is going to be x equals to square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 3. And the other one is going to be x minus 2. So what do we get here? X is equal to 3 square root of 3, right? We're just adding the coefficients and it has the same square root. On this one, it's going to be negative 1 square root of 3. You don't really. I did it. I did it because so then I remember I'm adding. So when I'm adding, it's like when you have an x plus x is 2x. Or when I have an x times x is different, it's x squared. So in this case, the square root is the same one. Needs to be the same in order for me to be able to add these two terms. So that's why I said 1 and 2. So there's 1 square root of 3 and there are 2. So total is going to be 3. And over here, you might not need to write down the 1 there. Can you put the answers in Newton like this? Plus and minus or no? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Because 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Okay? You see that, Di Carlos? I have a 1 here. Okay. Now, x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals to 0. So this one, we're going to see if we can factor it, right? Because it says, if you can factor the polynomial, do so and apply the zero factor property. We just did one example, this one when we use the square root property. Now we're going to do one like this one. So what are the two numbers that when I multiplied, I get negative 10. When I add them, I get positive 3. Let me have those two numbers, guys. The 5 is positive. Let me try it. So 5 positive and 2 negative times, it will be negative 10. And 5 minus 2 is 3. Good job. So now what do they say? Apply the zero factor property, which it says, x plus 5 equal to 0. X minus 2 equal to 0. Right? That's what the property says. So we don't need this here. Now I'm subtracting 5. So it will be x equals to negative 5 and adding 2 and x equals to 2. Okay? So we just did an 1 using the zero factor property. Let's do one using the quadratic form. Yes, the quadratic formula. I'm not sure if we did this already. Go ahead, guys. What do I need to do? Good. Add the 1, right? So let me do that. It's 2x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Again, it does have so this is 2, b is 2, and c is 1. We cannot solve it. We cannot factor the polynomial, so we're using the quadratic formula. So go ahead and use the quadratic formula. I'm writing it down here. Go ahead and do it. Give you a couple minutes, all right? What did I do with my... So it says I got an imaginary number, right? Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, let's try doing it. So we have negative b will be -2 plus a minus. So we have the 2 squared minus 4a and c, right? Okay, divided by 2 times 2. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so now I have a 4 and this is 8. Right? So it's -2 plus minus 4 minus 8. That's the -4. So then let me get the imaginary number there. Plus minus square root of 4 -1 over 2. Right? Are you guys following me? So we have the 2 plus a minus a square root of 2. What is this? This is the I divided by 2. Now I'm going to factor the 2. So I get a -1 plus a minus I divided by 2. So this is 1. Wait, 2a. Right here, right? Uh-huh. You're right. Great. Good job. All right. So it's supposed to be 4. Okay, good, good. Thank you. So it's not going to be a 1. It's going to be what? Yeah, 1, but on the bottom is going to be a 2. So my answer is going to be -1 plus minus I divided by 2. Up. So again, right here, 4 minus 8 was a -4. So we're going to break it down in a square root of 4 and a square root of -1. Do you guys understand what I did here from here to here? That I factored the 2 out and then divided by 2 is 1 and divided by 2, the 4 is what? Is 2. Any questions, guys? Anybody else? Let's see, who do I? Ashley Lopez, Bianca, Brandy, Christopher, DiCarlo, Fernanda, Jasmine, Letzi, Marisol, Omari, Sharissa. Any questions? Is everybody okay? Okay, I want to do one. I want to do one more, and then we'll go on break. Deal? Let's do that. 4, 5, page 5. So we have so remember, what do we do when we have different denominators in the equation? Good, the lowest common denominator. So we create the lowest common denominator, and then we can ignore the denominators. So let's do that. So my lowest common denominator is going to have a x plus 1, right? And it needs to have an x. Remember, it has to match. So this is my lowest common denominator. This one is only missing this one. This one is missing this one. And this one has all of them. So now I need to multiply this one by x and by x. And this one by x plus 1 and x plus 1 times 1 and times 1. There we go. So let's do it. This is going to be 5x squared. Now we have x plus 4 times x plus 1. And this is going to stay the same. So what do we do now? We get rid of this part, right? We don't need that part. So we're just going to use the 5x squared minus x plus 4 times x plus 1 equal to 3. Now, we're going to do this multiplication on the side. Let's do it here. X plus 4 times x plus 1. So what do we have? We have x squared plus x plus 4x plus 4. Got it? Now, be very careful. When I move this one over here, there is a negative sign. So let me do that step. Remember, this negative sign means that everything inside of the parentheses is going to change signs. So if this one was positive, now it's going to be negative. Now it's going to be negative and negative. So let's combine like terms. 5 minus 1 is 4x squared minus 5x minus 4 is equal to 3. What do we need to do? Move this guy to the other side. Now, we're gonna have to use, we cannot factor this polynomial, so we're gonna have to use the quadratic formula. A is equal to 4, B is equal to -5, and C is equal to -7. Go ahead and do it. Anytime. I'm just writing the quadratic formula again. 5 plus or minus square root of, hold on. We're getting close, guys. Hey, let's get this done and then we get to go on break. All right? It's okay. So give me the answer, Christopher.
Wait, can I just say it? I don't feel like typing it out.
Go
So
ahead.
it's 5 minus the square root of 137 divided by 8. And then the other one is 5 plus the square root of 137 divided by 8. Because I tried
Uh,
square rooting 137 and it's not an even number. So we would just keep it as a square root.
okay, hold on, Christopher. So tell me, how did you do that? Great job and great job to the ones that answered. Yeah. But what do I do here?
You want me to explain like all the
Uh-huh.
steps? Okay. So uh oh so I just plugged in the numbers. You plug in like all the A's and B's and C's.
Okay, so then this one is going to be
A
b
positive 5.
squared.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and then
uh-huh.
negative 5 squared minus 4 times 4 times negative 7. Oh, not square rooted too. Yeah. And then divided by 2 times 4.
Okay, so
And
this is
then
going to be,
yeah, so that's a positive 5. So 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 plus 112. That's right? Square root, yep. And then divided by 8. And then you add 25 and 112, which will give you 137. Divided by 8.
mm-hmm. So one answer is going to be 5 plus the square root of 137 divided by 8 and 5 minus. Great job to all of you guys. All of you. Great job. Okay, so I'll see you 10 minutes after. If you need help with this, let me know I'm here. All right, guys, are we back? Okay, Christopher is back, Ashley is back, Ashley too, Bianca, Fernanda, Teresa, Letzi, and Carlos, Jasmine, I, everybody else, Brandy, Omari, I don't see you. Hopefully you're back. And Sharissa, oh yes, you're back. There we go. Now, let's look at this. You guys recognize the factoring method that we need to use? Dun, dun, dun. Substitution, yeah. Good, good. So the only thing that we cannot forget to do is what we call and substitute at the end. So let's do it. So we're gonna say that we can gonna let y be equal to x plus 2. Okay, so when I see that y, the x plus 2 is going to be replaced by y. X plus 2 by y minus 3. I understand a lot of the exercises in the 9.4 section in Newton, you're going to have to solve in this way. Okay, substitution method. Now, right here, you know what? We don't need to apply. Hold on, we can factor this, can we? Yeah. Wouldn't be this what? 3 times 1? Uh-huh. 3 and 1. So they have to be, this guy is going to be negative, and so when I multiply, I get negative 3. When I add, I get negative 2. I don't need to apply, I do the square root, the quadratic formula. No. A lot shorter. Right? So we're going to be adding 3 on both sides. So y is equal to 3. And y is equal to what? To negative 1. So what do we need to do? Don't forget, we got to go back and replace it. So we know, we said that y was going to be equal to x plus 2. So we have when y is equal to 3, what do we have there? X equal to 1. I was going to say negative. And now So what do we have? We have x plus 2 equals to -1. So we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. And I get x equals to -3.
Can you move the paper?
Yeah. Sorry. So again, we got y equals to -3 and y equals to -1. But what happened? We said that y was equal to x plus 2. We used the substitution method. So we got to unsubstitute at the end. So x is equal to 1 and x is equal to -3. I have another one that we could do, like that one. And any questions on this one? Yes. 6, 7. All right, so then we're gonna say that y is equal to w minus 3, right? Oh, and we need to move this 6 to this side too. I forgot, okay. So we're gonna have y squared plus 5w and we're gonna subtract this 6, okay? So again,
But where do you get the y?
it's right here. It says y minus 3. So instead of using this whole thing, y minus 3, I'm going to use the y. I'm going to replace it for y. I'm going to substitute it for y.
Okay.
Just for now. Just for now. Now, we could do this one. What are the two numbers? Go ahead. What are those two numbers? Six and, let me see, 6 and 1. The 6 is positive and the 1 is negative. Now, I get this one, this one. Perfect. Good job, guys. So now what do I do? Y plus 6 is equal to 0 and y minus 1 is equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. I get y equals to -6. And here I'm gonna get a y equals to 1. So I need to substitute back again, or like I said, unsubstitute. I don't think that's a word, but it's like, yeah, it's like substituting back. So what do I have? I said that y was equal to w minus 3. So when y is equal to negative 6, let's see what w is going to be equal to. Yes, you got it. Thank you. So I'm going to add 3 on both sides. So what do I get? W is equal to negative 3. And let's do the other one. When y is equal to 1. Yes, got it, 4. Good job. So then what do I do? 1 equals to w minus 3. So I'm going to add 3 on both sides. What do I get? W equals to 4. So how did I start it? By the substitution method. I said y is equal to w minus 3, and I factored the polynomial. I used the sum and the product. I got 2 answers as always, and I gotta go back and substitute them. Back into what I said that y was equal to w minus 3. And I got w equal to negative 3 and w equals to 4. I wanted to okay. Any questions, guys? Let me do okay, let's do this one. What was that? Okay, let's do this one. This is from Newton, and most of them, like I said, is going to be substitution method. So let's do a few of these ones, okay? It says solve, and it's giving us 8x to the 4th power minus 42x to the 2nd power plus 40 equals to 0. It says enter all solutions separate by a comma. Do not include x equal in your answers. Okay. So now we gotta identify a substitution that will give us this equation in a quadratic form, right? So let's see. We know this, x is equal to x to the fourth power, right? So this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna use, we could use any letter, okay? We're gonna use u is going to be equal to x squared. Okay, so we're gonna rewrite the equation with the substitution. That way we can put it in a quadratic form. So let's do that. So we have the 8 and how are we going to replace that? Just do it again. So we're going to, we know this is what? X to the second power, right? And we know the 42 is what? X squared plus 40. So we have this square, right? Which is this one. You guys see that? So I'm going to replace the x squared with the u. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing. So 8, this is getting to the end. Let me get another one. It's going to be what? U squared minus 42 u plus 40 equals to 0. Because I know that x squared to the second power is x to the fourth power. So I'm just rewriting x to the fourth power this way. And I'm going to substitute x squared with a u. Now I'm going to solve this quadratic equation. We're going to have to what? Factor that, right? I will use my box. All right. So let's get the box here. So my box will be 8 u squared and a 40, right? And let me get my calculator handy. So we have 8 times 40 is 320 u squared. And I need a number that multiply, two numbers, multiply, give me this 320 u squared. And when I add them, I get 42 u. If you guys want to do it AC, go ahead. And let's do it together and see. You guys do the AC and I'll do the box. So 320. Let me do my 3. That's how I like doing it. 160 divided by 2 is going to be 80. Divided by 2 is going to be 40. By 2, 20. By 2, 10. by 2, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 to the 6th power. So it seems like I have 64 times 5. I need to get to 42. So might not be help me match this one. Maybe 10 and 32. So if I multiply 10 times 32, I get 320. But how do I get a negative? Oh, if they both are negative, because 32 plus 10 is 42 negative, that would be. And I didn't need it to do all of this. Right, guys? If I multiply it, I get positive 320. And if I add them, I get negative 42. Yes, so let me do that. Good job. 32u, and this is negative 10u. So now, let me do my greatest common factor will be what? 8u, right? Because 8 times 4 is 32. Common factor here will be number 10, right? Guys, help me here. Number 10. Okay. Now, let's get this one. This one will be 2u, right? And this one will be 40. 40 is, isn't it this one 2u? Because 8 and 10, what is greatest common factor will be a 2. And between these two is going to be 8. Because 8 times 4 is 32. And 8 times 5 is 40. And not you. Okay. And they both are going to be negative. So let me see if it's going to work. So we have 8u minus 10 times 2u minus 8. That's what I got. Guess what? Are we doing okay with this one? Let's review this one. When I multiplied, I got the 320u squared. When I add, I got the negative 42. 8 times 1 and 8 times, so 8u, and this is 10. Okay, let's keep going. So we have this. Now we're going to apply the what? The zero property, right? Zero product property where 8u minus 10 is equal to 0 and 2u minus 8 is equal to 0. So we're going to be adding 10 on both sides. So this is going to be what? 8u equals to 10. And what did you guys get? Oh, you think it's u minus 4? Why u minus 4? You did the AC, okay. Go ahead and multiply that what you have there and see if you get the same and see. Go ahead and multiply what you got and see if you get this. That's the only way to prove it, okay? So then I have u equals to what? Half of 10 is what? 5 and half of 8 is what? 4. So I just got one solution. Now let's get this one. Eight over 2 is what? 4. If you use go ahead and try that, guys. Okay, now I got my use my two solutions, but what do I need to do now? Go back and substitute, right? The original variable back into the substitution, okay? So let's go back and do that. We said at the beginning that u was going to be equal to x squared, right? So what we got here, we're going to replace u with x squared. Because remember that we said u was going to be equal to x squared. All right, so we have u equals to 5 over 4, and we got u equals to 4. So we're going to replace it. So what we have is x squared equals to 5 over 4. And what we have here is x squared equals to 4. Now, what are we doing? We're going to solve for the original variable. So we're going to be using what? The square root property. So we get x is equal to what? Plus and minus a square root of 5 divided by what? Square root of 4. And this is equal to plus and minus. Square root of 5 is going to stay like that over 2. One side. And then the other one is going to be, again, we're going to apply the square root on both sides. So we get x is equal plus and minus square root of 4. X is equal to plus and minus 2. So let's go back. We got this, right? Right away we see, okay, we're going to have to use the substitution method here. And we know that x squared to the second power to a power, will give me x to the fourth. So I'm going to let u, any letter you could use, okay, equal to x squared. So I substitute the x squared in the equation, and this is what I have to start with. I factored this one using the box method, and this is what I got. I solved both, and I got u equals to 5 over 4 and u equals to 4. Now, I need to replace that back into the equation, back here again. So u is equal to what? 2, 5, 4. U equals to 4. But I said that u was going to be equal to x squared. So I replaced the u for the x squared. And then I solve it. Let me know if you have questions, and let me see. There is another one that we could do using the substitution. Should we do another one of these ones, guys, really quick? Okay, 7, 8, 9, and this is from Newton, okay? 9.4. Okay, so let's do it. This one says solve, and I have 72x to the fourth minus 74x to the second plus 14. Enter all solutions separated by a comma. So we need to identify a substitution that will make this equation look like in a quadratic form. So we know that x squared to the second power is equal to x squared. I mean, to the fourth power, sorry. So now we're gonna let what? I'm gonna use the u again. U. Okay, so u is going to be equal to x squared. So let's go. We have 72x squared minus 74x squared plus 14 is equal to 0. So what do you guys see? I see the x squared. So I'm going to substitute it for my u, right? How are we doing so far? Guys, are we following so far there? This takes practice, okay, guys? Gotta practice, and you have enough exercises. We're doing the substitution method here, okay? So now, we just have to solve this one. So let's solve it. 72 u squared and 14. 72 times 14. Oh my goodness, I got 1008. 1008. Let me do it again. 72 times 14. Yes. And when we add it, we get 74u. 1008. Wow. I would not. I'm just doing this because I don't know if that's going to help me or I just don't know how to do it. Two, three, four. So it's so if I multiplied 16. So I thought I got no. Mhm. What did you get? 56 and 18. And when you add them, 74. Good job. So then you will have them what? 56U, 18U, and they have to be what? Negative both. Uh-huh. When I multiply them, I get the 1008. Thank you so much. And when I add them, I get 56 plus 18, double checking 74. All right, so we got it. We got it. No, Omari got it. I didn't get it. Okay, good job. So now, between these two, it's going to be what? 8, right? Because 8 times 9 is 72, and 8 times 7 is 56. Now let's do this one. 18 and 14. Just 2. I can't think of anything else that they have in common. What about this 2? The 9. 9 times 8. 9 times 2. And 56 and 14, the 7. No, 7 times 8 and 7 times 2. So it's 7. And we know this is going to be negative and this is going to be negative. All right. So we're going to continue. We got 8u minus 2 times 9u minus 7 equals to 0. Got it? You got 4 minutes to do this. So let's do it. So we have 8u minus 2 equal to 0 and 9u minus 7 equals to 0. So we're adding 2 on both sides and multiply by the reciprocal. And what do we get? 1 over 4, right? 2 divided by 8. Now we have here equals to 7 So what do we have? U equals to 7/9. So we have those two solutions. So now let's go back and we're going to replace U with an x squared. So we're going to replace U with a what? X squared. Because we said at the beginning that U was going to be equal to x squared. So let's do that. So we have x squared equals to 1/4 and x squared equals to 7/9. What do we use? The square root property. So we get what? Square root of 1 Okay, so what do we get here? A square root of 1 and a square root of 4. So this is equal to 1/2 plus and minus. Don't forget that. This is one answer. And the other one is going to be x is equal to what? Plus and minus a square root of 7 over square root of 9, which is what? Square root of 7/3. And I got my two answers. I will post this for you guys to have it, right? In your, that way you could go over this process. Any questions? I'm sorry to keep you all the way to 10, 11 o'clock, all right? So have a great weekend and thank you so much, guys. Great weekend. You too, guys. Yes, thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.